Kraft saying hiring Belichick was, quote, a big risk. But that's something he has said many times in the past. But this time, Bill Belichick decided to fire back. Belichick telling ESPN's Don Van Natta Jr., quote, as I told Robert multiple times through the years, I took a big risk by taking the Patriots head coaching job. I had been warned by multiple previous Patriots coaches as well as other members of other NFL organizations and the media that the New England job was going to come with many internal obstacles. I made it clear that we would have to change the way the team was managed to regain the previously attained success. All right, let's welcome back in Kayla, Burton, Breer. We would also like you to join this part of the conversation by voting in our daily poll. Whose side are you on in this whole Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft big risk dispute? Belichick's, Kraft's, or neither? Are they both wrong? Let's just all move on. You know what to do. Go to the website, scan the QR code, cast your vote. Wow, we are straight across 33 right now. People cannot decide, so maybe we'll try and convince you to come to our side. Bert, I know this has you real fired up. What
I just think it's like obvious what's
this?
happening here. And like Don Van Natta is a great reporter. I find it hard to believe that Don Van Natta listened to the Dudes on Dudes podcast, heard Robert Kraft said that, and then reached out to Belichick. Like, this feels to me a lot like Bill hearing what was said, getting bent out of shape about it, and then reaching out to Van Natta, who he knows has reported some tough things on Kraft and and other NFL owners. I think there's a method in the reporter that you're going to, too, and says that there were internal obstacles. Like, that to me is like, you didn't know what you were doing before I got here. That's what that's saying. Yes. And so it's petty. It feels like it keeps going on. It keeps going, and it's back and forth and back and forth. And, yeah, like the other thing is, like, Robert has said this a million times.
A million times.
You know what I mean? Like, what he said there was like, and I don't know what set Bill off, but like, he has said that a million times.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
There's somebody new in Bill Belichick's ear who is always chirp, chirp, chirp,
Who's that,
chirping his way.
Who might be listening to
a podcast. Constantly on social media. Jordan Hudson, who hears this and says, this is ridiculous. This to me, it's like, I just feel like she has so much outsized influence on him right now. And this is sort of what young people do, right? Young people clap back on social media. They call people, they do diss tracks and all of these things. They get into fights from far away. This does not seem like the actions of how old is he? 74-year-old, like 74-year-old man. This seems like something that younger people do to draw attention to themselves. I 100% I'm going to blame her for everything.
I just think the origin of this is the most important thing. Yeah. Again, the fact that I don't think, and again, I might be wrong, I don't think that Don Van Natta is reaching out to Bill Belichick based on what was in that podcast. This feels to me like it went the other way around, which I think makes it worse. And I never thought I'd say this. This is Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones. It has gotten to that point. That was nasty. That was public. That lasted. And I'm not saying this is going to last for decades the way that the Jimmy Jerry thing did. But this feels like it's Jimmy Jerry now.
Yeah, we're looking at the poll, right? And all of you lovely, competent people are saying this is ridiculous. This is like the most petty conversation. And I think back to Bill Belichick when he was with the Patriots. Did he care? Did he care about what was being said about him? Did he go public and respond to, it was a risk, or I took the risk to even take the job, even though, didn't he want out? He wanted out. But either way, you can argue both sides was a little bit risky. The Patriots weren't great. Bill wanted out. So, yeah, you could go back and forth on it. But I just think, I wouldn't be surprised if Miss Jordan has some type of role and say, hey, Billy, did you listen to what they said about you? Listen to what Kraft said about you. Why don't you go to your publicist? We need to release this right now and maintain your entire resume and everything that you provide. And the old Bill Belichick wouldn't have given two craps about this.
Do you think fans care? Because 59% of people watching right now, Kayla, are saying, you know what, just time to move on. I don't side with either of you.
I don't care. Y'all care? I don't know. No, I think it is time to move on. You should care about the product that's in front of you, the coach that's in front of you. I know what Kraft does. Like, he does care about the Patriots, and then, you know, he says that he made the mistake by putting Gerard Mayo in that position. Like, that's what you should care about, not going on necessarily, in my opinion, podcasts talking about the old times.
I will say this, though, Bert, like, Robert Kraft is the owner and Bill Belichick is the architect of the greatest dynasty in pro sports, one could argue, one of the greatest dynasties in pro sports. Do they ever squash this? Like, how does this get resolved? Because I think Bill Belichick is eligible for the Patriots Hall of Fame as of next year or so. Like, when does this, how long does this go on?
Waiting period, the way they did for Tom.
Right, that's true, but they didn't.
So maybe that's a sore subject too. Like, I don't know, like Tom didn't have to wait.
Don't get a pull there going.
It just kind of feels like, it just feels like, is this worth it? Like, you could honor this guy and what he did for your organization, and instead both of you are, quite frankly, this isn't the most eloquent way of putting it, but they're just pissing all over it.
Right, and I think, and look, like, the eligibility rules to me are irrelevant because there's one person who can override all of that, and that's one of the two people that are involved in this. And then there's going to be the subject of his Hall of Fame induction, which that could happen at any time too. Like, the rules that govern coaches are different than the rules that govern players. Really, what that comes down to when it comes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame is whether or not, like, the committee is convinced that you're done coaching. They don't want to put somebody in who's going to go back into coaching. So if they're convinced he's done coaching in the NFL, they could put him in any time. So there are going to be all of these junctures where, over the next few years, where we're going to be watching. Okay, if Robert were to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, does Bill show up? If Bill gets into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, does Robert show up? This is going to be a subject until it's squashed. And I know, just watching the way these things have gone in the past, like Brett Favre, like in Green Bay, like that was squashed, I think, when they put his number up. Right? Like, so I would think if there was going to be some point where that happens, it would almost have to be with Robert Kraft calling and saying, hey, we're going to put up a statue of you, or hey, we're going to put you into the Hall of Fame before the waiting period is up, something like that.
All right. Well, the Athletic's Chad Graff writing about BB's latest PR whiff. Writing this, with an unnecessary statement, Belichick poured gas on the embers of his feud with Kraft, unable to let even a casual compliment from Kraft go by without letting everyone know what a risk it was joining the Patriots. What is this offseason?
I don't think, well, first of all, I don't think Bill would consider it a PR whiff. I think he thinks he hit a home run.
Well, and I'm curious, though, is it a whiff? What is this offseason in its entirety, Bert? What has it done to Bill Belichick's reputation, not just in the NFL, but also in the college ranks?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, like, a lot's going to depend on what happens when they start playing games at North Carolina. So there's definitely there's a path out for Bill Belichick. It's coach well. North Carolina plays well. North Carolina recruits well. North Carolina prospers under his leadership. So it's not like there isn't a way out of this. But I think, like, now what people will do is they'll look back and say, okay, like, if you strip Brady out of it, what are you left with? A great defensive coach, but it didn't look great at the end in Cleveland. And we've heard the rewriting of some of that, but, like, there's that sits out there. There was the way that he left the Jets, which was with some weirdness.
Yep.
And then there's obviously, what you have now. So, I think for that reason, Bill's legacy is complicated. Again, he can clean it up. Go win. You know what I mean? Like, you can shut everybody up in September and October, November. That's going to be on him to do that.
And he's trying to do it in a new way, right? He's never coached college football. He's trying, after everything, and leaving New England how it was left, and Tom Brady proving himself, saying, I can win a Super Bowl without you. For everyone who has been on I need Bill Belichick with Tom Brady, or Tom Brady needs Bill Belichick. Tom went off and did his thing and won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. So now Bill Belichick is left saying, I still need to continue to show that I'm a winning coach at whatever level. And even though it's not in the NFL, he wants to go do so, from what it seems like, at UNC. So I think he's still in the I'm proving it year and trying to cap off if this is the last, or if it's his, leverage to get back into the NFL. It's a prove it year to say, I am still him.
That's a great point Kayla made, too, about Tom and including him, right? Because what we've seen of Bill post-Tom is getting fired by the Patriots and having to go to college, right? What we've seen from Robert post-Tom is he fired Bill, then his next coach, who he had groomed, got fired after a year, and they look like a stumbling, bumbling operation. Who's quiet through this whole thing?
Everyone's trying to prove it.
Who doesn't have a problem?
Tom
doesn't
Brady.
have because he won. Because he won a Super Bowl. Because he.
And now he buys steak in a team.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
And the stake he is invested in is not the Patriots.